An audience member of mine wrote a comment that I think highlights exactly what I want to show you in this video. They said this: understand this, everybody. Call of Duty is the only game I will buy, and not just buy. I will buy the Vault Edition and still buy skins and battle passes. This is why you spend $68 billion. Welcome to the Video Game Fight School channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today, we're going to be looking at the whole Xbox strategy in their acquisitions. If there were some things that the down players have not paid attention to and now are coming to the surface, that makes that Activision purchase not necessarily seem like, the so-called bad deal that the naysayers would make it seem. In the business economy, the competition is very necessary. It really does put everybody on blast. It makes everybody try their best to maybe provide for the fans what I think is the very best value proposition. Right now, PlayStation is running all over the place, and it's not sticking to its pillars of single-player games, rather spending money on live service games. However, it's missing something that I think is a major ingredient, something that's been honed down by third-party publishers even before Microsoft came in and purchased them. Just recently, we heard that Diablo has made over $1 billion so far, and $150 million of that money is from skins. This is crazy. The ecosystems that Microsoft has put together are ecosystems that are financially viable. This is what I think Sony is trying to copy. However, they still rely on games like the Call of Duty games to bring in those kinds of funds to their ecosystems, but they do not control those kinds of games at the moment. They're still stuck on the one and dones, the single player games, and it's very hard for them to match that particular paradigm. If you look at, say, Warzone, you look at Call of Duty games, and so on and so forth. If you look at what they're trying to do, where they're tripling down with their live service, paradigm, and you compare it to even their single player games coming out and even their multiplayer games, there probably is still a lot of work for them to do. Another thing that came out in the news is that Elder Scrolls Online makes a hefty $15 million a month in revenue. So this is not profits. We're just looking at revenue across the board. So Bethesda seems to have already honed down this skill, and even Activision themselves, Blizzard, and King, the mobile company, had already kind of solidified this particular business paradigm, and they were just literally there, and Microsoft went in and took them. This is one of the reasons you would have seen how challenging it was for PlayStation to just want to let this happen. But now that it's happened, because they went super, long tooth, everything was kind of designed at first to actually put Microsoft on the back burner. It's kind of weird if you kind of think about it. There's only one reason you have this whole thing going on. I think Microsoft was seeing that Activision wanted preferential treatment. That's basically what Sarah Bond reported in the FTC trials. She said, they wanted a higher profit share, and Xbox had to basically oblige. I think Xbox looked and said, why are we even obliging when we can spend, PlayStation out of business? Because you guys know PlayStation was money-hatting third-party games and trying to block them from Xbox to harm Xbox. So Xbox took that aggressive approach. I know that makes some people upset. They're like, well, you can always do that. Well, PlayStation already kicked off this business environment that you guys are seeing today. And I've said it before. You're living in PlayStation's world. You said they're the market leader, right? Well, when the market leader was leading in blocking games from going to your ecosystem, basically money-hatting them, you looked and said, well, why don't we just go own them? And that way we'll probably be able to shut the competition down in that particular aspect. So looking at just these two results and looking at what's going on right now with Call of Duty, and even taking a look at that comment that was made by that audience member of mine, I think you can see why this is a very, very dangerous place for PlayStation to be right now. Even looking at their games like Concord, which already is a flop, looking at Fair Games, which people are already preemptively wanting to flop, and that's PlayStation fans, not me. I don't play these live service games. I only play, like one or two of them. I play The Division. That's one that many people don't play, and I play Mortal Kombat. That's also one that many people don't play. But as a fighting game, I guess I can justify that I need the PvP, of which I play on PC. I'm not playing, I'm not going to sit there and try to buy a PlayStation version that requires me to pay for a subscription. But when you think about all of it, I think it's starting to make a whole lot of sense right now how this has basically single-handedly changed the paradigm in all of business. I know Nintendo makes a lot of money. They're in their own little bubble. However, as these, financial means continue to get expanded upon, and you start to juxtapose and add them to all sorts of other, financial business, I guess I'll call income streams that Xbox has access to, I think, this right now is already a winning strategy. Like there's no way that you can just go ahead and say, oh, you know what Xbox has been doing is not impactful. It absolutely is. On their financial books, it is. Maybe you on the PlayStation side might be too bougie to say, you know, you don't care. However, even if you don't care, there's a player base that does care. There are players that care across the board, apparently. And seemingly, it's all coming together and it's all making sense. Even to the point now, and this is the craziest part, right? Think about this. If you're going to play Call of Duty this holiday, Game Pass is going to cross your mind. If you're going to play Indiana Jones this holiday, Game Pass is going to cross your mind. I'm not saying you're going to go get Game Pass. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that the thought of it will cross your mind. I think that's effective alone in its own right. The one thing and the one question people are asking is why they're not marketing, you know, Game Pass everywhere. They want you to buy Call of Duty. They don't necessarily just want all of you to come subscribe. They've done the math. So what they're doing is, those of you who know what's going on the inside, like me, I'm not going to buy this game. I am going to come here on Game Pass and subscribe, and I'll play the campaign, and I'll delete it. Then I'll go play Indiana Jones on here, and I'll delete it, and then maybe entertain a bit of Flight Simulator, and then that's basically it for me. For me, I got my Game Pass money worth for the whole year, by the way, if you actually think about it. All right, I'm out of here. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching the videos. I appreciate you guys' time and audience, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.